Listen to these sounds and tell me, what is the first thing that comes to mind? This one invokes fear. This one brings back memories. That's right, math blasters. Music and sounds have existed in video games for as long as wheat and bread. Music is a super important component when it comes to making video games. It could take up to 20% of a game's budget when making a video game. That's more than what they pay the developers. Sometimes they pay them in grody work environments and sexual harassment and fucking grilled cheese sandwich parties. So today I'm here to talk about the history of music and video games and what I think makes them the most important part of what makes a video game stand out. Starting with, in the beginning, there was... Just for simplification's sake, because trying to track down the first ever video game is a tricky conversation in itself, we're gonna start here. You know, for anyone 10 years older than me, they could never imagine such a sight. It was like witnessing Jesus walk and then skate.
I have come.
The Atari in the 70s was the best thing, which isn't saying a lot when this was the competitor. Let's examine this masterpiece real quick. Oh, Slipknot could never. Yeah, let's not kid anyone. This shit is a fucking ear sore. Most Atari games were. Back when making video games started, no one knew what a video game was. This was all the groundwork, and you have to praise them for it. I mean, just the simple sound of fucking was so impactful to people when playing. That was like my grandma's equivalent to like a gun sound in Call of Duty.
Are you busy, motherfucker? You take a clip, I'm gaming.
It held some punch to it. The Atari was super limited when it came to sound, but no doubt it was the first to make an attempt. The first people to make a breakthrough and say, hey, maybe the sound of breaking a newborn's back for sound effects isn't the ceiling of achievement. It was the arcades. Not being limited to fucking floppy disks and cartridges and stuff, we could finally make the next step to... Yeah, they still didn't get it right away. The first video game with music is Rally X, which is surprisingly from the dudes who thought hearing this shit in a room full of screaming high schoolers who would grow up to do great things. Namco could claim the crown when it comes to the first music in video games. Yeah, it doesn't sound great. It's kind of catchy. Keep in mind, this could barely be heard in a setting, again, it was screaming Mick do great things here. But you know, Ozzy Osbourne released this classic in the same year. Alright, now that we see where it started, well, where are we now? Over the past 4 decades, video games have really made a huge leap in its idea of music for video games. We can safely say that music adds and deduct points in a game's overall rating, depending solely on its music, and even creates a game's entire identity if the song or soundtrack that's played within it is amazing enough. Take, for example, The Legend of Zelda. The composer, Koji Kondo, was gonna make the theme for The Legend of Zelda Maurice Ravel's Bolero, thinking it was so old it must have been in the public domain. They had done some research, and last minute they found out the song actually wasn't in public domain yet by 1 month. At the time in Japan, for something to qualify as public domain, it had to be 50 years after the creator's death, and it was 49 years and 11 months. So they had to change it legally overnight. And then the iconic theme that we all know and love was created. And a huge part of Zelda's identity is, well, Link, Zelda, and the fucking music. And man, did we dodge a bullet, because golly, this shit's a snooze fest. Oh yeah, Sandra, this is the song you have on repeat when grocery shopping? Did you not realize that this classic exists? Most gamers can hear a song and identify it directly to a video game and even to a specific title in a series. Let's show a few and test the knowledge of some true gamers here. Just have to guess the game. And if you want to get extra brownie points, it is... You can guess the exact title, all right? And I'm just going to play the clip for you, and then all you have to do is just give the name after the clip is done.
It's a fighting game. Sonic.
I have no fucking
That's Guile's theme, Street Fighter.
That's Street Fighter. It was Ken's. Oh, my bad. It's fucking Guile.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's Guile's theme from Street Fighter.
Oh, that's Street Fighter, of course. Street Fighter 2, I think. That's Ryu's theme. Or Ken's theme. It's one of those two. No! That's Guile!
You want to take this one first, Goofy?
Shovel Knight.
That's Streets of Nuts.
Dr. Wily Stage 2. Or Dr. Wily Stage is from like Mega Man 2.
Mega Man 2. Mega Man 2. I think it's Wily's Castle, whatever the fuck.
Mega Man 2. Wily Castle 2.
That's Grand Theft Auto. San Andreas?
Like GTA.
I haven't played any of the games, but I think that's San Andreas.
I thought it was GTA. What is it, San Andreas, I think?
GTA.
Yeah, the GTA 5 theme, yeah.
Cuphead.
Yeah, him.
From Undertale? Sans
Sans theme, she says.
It's fucking. This shit caught me off guard. Sans Undertale.
Among Us? No. Yeah. That's obviously Sans theme from Undertale. That's like if you're on the internet like 4 years ago, it was like that was the only thing you'd ever hear.
I got none.
I'm gonna guess Banjo.
I swear to fucking God, I know this and I've heard. Why am I feel like I should know this one. Oh, it's fucking Crash.
Crash Bandicoot.
Ooh, that's Crash.
I don't know that off the top of my head. I feel like that's something close to you from Crash.
I have no clue.
No way.
It's like it's from a Mario game.
It's definitely Mario. Oh wait, that's got to be from Mario 64, right?
It's Super Mario 64. It's Bob on Battlefield. Come on.
Bob on Battlefield.
I'm gonna go with Super Mario 64. Snake.
Final Fantasy.
It does sound familiar, but I have no fucking clue.
Star Fox.
Oh, that's Final Fantasy 7.
Oh, it's Final Fantasy 7.
Yeah.
Okay.
No fucking way that's actually from a game.
I think it's Car Horn like 5 or 4.
That's it.
There's no way that that's from an actual fucking game. There's no way. You gotta be shitting me. Oh, fuck.
Fuck off, you motherfucker. You're so corny, bruh. You are goofy, bruh. Yeah, I have not played any of these games, by the way. I haven't played Street Fighter, I have not played Mega Man, and I have not played GTA. I know these songs. They're just that iconic.
And these are just a few examples. Video games eventually decided to evolve into using orchestras, and the first game to do it was The Heart of Darkness on the PlayStation 1. The Heart of Darkness was the first game to have a soundtrack performed by an actual orchestra. And trust me, I can make an entire video on this one fucking game, but that's for another time. Soundtracks composed by orchestras is a practice used by many in the gaming industry today, and is even a standard for most. As we can expect when trying to profit off the next big fad, video games, quality checking might not be the go-to when making music for a video game. Like, you're telling me they had no better song to pick than this? You're telling me when porting a game, this is the best sound that they can make? It literally sounds like my guts after eating fucking Panda Brothers on a strip mall. Like what the hell is this? You cannot tell me that they hired a team of people to create music for a video game, and this is the best they can do. Even games like Street Fighter, not a single person was like, hey, this string of noises that sounds like a Chinese sweatshop producing Stephen Hawking's text-to-speech software sounds a bit ass. Like, is this the song of choice to represent your game that you spent years working on? With video game music being so inspiring and uninspiring, there were some pioneers in gaming who thought, well, what if instead of having games featuring music, we made music featuring games? The first game to do it was everyone's favorite, Parappa the Rapper was the first of its kind when it came to making the music the core feature in a game, and made an amazing soundtrack. This game single-handedly put us on the path towards one of the worst events in gaming history. But don't be too down, we had a good run up until then, with games like Rhythm Heaven, which made you play various mini-games that involved, well, fucking rhythm. Guitar Hero put a hunk of plastic in the hands of people who were musically inept.
It's just suck his dick, just like you said you were gonna do.
And made people feel like a rock star. Then we made the move to teaching people to dance like Russians in 480p at 6 a.m. Imagine, this is what the guy who runs the city streets does after fucking your bitch. He comes home to practice his routine of Rasputin and scores a 5-star every time. By the way, fun fact, for some reason, Ubisoft kept releasing Just Dance games for a console that retired in 2017, and they kept releasing games up until 2020, because why not, I guess? Then, rhythm games evolved into, well, what about instead of making music-focused games, we made games focus on the music and rhythm? Which you may be saying, well, what's the fucking difference, idiot? Well, the difference was Crypt of the Necrodancer, where they incorporated the music to the gameplay. You had to strategically move to the rhythm and play the game to the music playing. Rather than just performing patterns with colored buttons like Guitar Hero, you had to attack on beat, move on beat. Enemies moved when you moved on beat. Your attack would miss if you weren't on beat. It was so impressive, Nintendo partnered with them to make a Zelda version of their game called Cadence of Hyrule. It was truly innovating, like witnessing this man perform this shit so smooth. Like, how the hell did he do that? Moving back to rhythm games that were biased to those who had more than 2 limbs, science and technology had advanced to fucking Google Glass, and in turn sparked the creation of taking one of science fiction's greatest weapons and turning it into a rhythm game, Beat Saber, which involves you dodging and slashing notes to the rhythm of iconic songs such as Crab Rave and Imagine Dragons. Yeah, we're gonna have to pass this up to the modding community for being able to put the songs we really want to move to. And now once again, moving back to a more recent game that came out and really blew up in the gaming scene was Hi-Fi Rush. This game had zero marketing and dropped suddenly on Xbox's Game Pass for everyone to just play day one. It is another game that involves beating the fuck out of enemies, pulling off combos to multiple beats, and even made you perform combos involving syncopation, where you skip beats in songs and practicing timing to enhance and enact certain moves. This game has amazing charm and I highly recommend it. And of course there are many other rhythm games to talk about, but the section is getting quite chunky and I'm trying to avoid talking about no matter how you look at it, whether you're staring at the good, the innovative, and the god-awful. Music in video games has taken on a form that is a required must-have for any video game, whether it's the main focus, a mechanic, or just a damn good effort to get something stuck in your head. Not you. Alright, you know, hopefully you learned something, and I appreciate you for sticking all the way through this video and joining me on this new channel. It would mean a lot if you would take the time to leave a like, subscribe, and I would love to see some comments on your favorite video game soundtrack and why it's your favorite. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you in the dump next time. And by the way, side note, I found out that Bilbo Baggins from Lord of the Rings, his father is named Bungo Baggins, and my life has never been the same.